It's amazing. So show of hands, how many of you guys own dogs? How many of you guys are dog owners? All right, that's like a fair bit of you. Although if we were in Columbia Heights, like everybody's hand would be up right now. Like I feel like Columbia Heights is like the only place where the posters for missing dogs are nicer than the posters for missing people. Like you're just walking through the neighborhood and you're like, is this laminated? Fuck. They will never find my black ass. No, the reason I bring up dogs is because my apartment just started allowing tenants to have dogs in the building now, which is cool, right? I was sharing an elevator with one of my neighbors. He has a pit bull, and I leaned down to his dog, and I'm like, oh, like, your dog's really cute. Like, what's his name? And he's like, oh, yeah, his name is Ciroc. And I was like, like the vodka, Ciroc? And he was like, yeah, like the vodka. And I was like, all right, first of all, props to you for not just copping out and calling him Mad Dog 2020, because that was the obvious name choice there. But I feel like Ciroc is kind of an expensive vodka. Like if I'm going to name my dogs after booze, it's going to be after booze I can afford. Right, that way when I'm in an elevator with my two dogs, a random lady can come up to me and be like, oh my God, they're so cute. What are their names? I'm like, oh, thank you. The boxer is named Franzia. And the Shih Tzu is named Vanilla Extract. Say hi, Vanilla. Hi. Oh, Vanilla likes you. I was driving not too far from Columbia Heights the other day, and I saw two sweaty dudes selling watermelon for $5 out of the back of a beat-up pickup truck on the side of Georgia Avenue at 11 p.m. And I was just looking at that thinking, finally! A farmer's market that caters to the hours of a young DC professional who is high on a moderate amount of weed. It's like, I don't want to shit on their business model. I'm just a proponent of daytime watermelon. You know, the type of watermelon where I pay money for it, I have a better chance of seeing your chloroform rag in my peripheral vision. And what I will later describe to police as your Elmer Fudd rabbit trap for black people. I don't drive all the time. I usually take a metro, so Safe Track is currently ruining my social life. I try to distract myself with how terrible the service is by looking at all the dumb ads on the inside of my train. And there was this ad that I saw the other day for this group that you can join to become a better public speaker. And on the ad, it had the words, "Are you next?" Right? Like in big bold letters. And then right underneath that were photos of JFK and Martin Luther King Jr. I was like, oh, perhaps we should not have the words "Are you next?" that close. The photos of people who were shot and killed for the things they said in public. Have any of you guys ever had somebody try to sell you weird shit on public transportation? I'm seeing a couple of nods. Shout it out, what's the weirdest thing somebody's tried to sell? Their kid? Jesus Christ. All right, that's probably not as bad as what happened to me. No, I had a dude with no teeth try to sell me panties on the metro. And I remember just walking away just so enraged, like, you don't fucking buy Subway panties from the dude with no teeth. All right, you buy your Subway panties from the dude with no eyes, all right? That man is intimately acquainted with the fabrics, and he knows what the fuck he's talking about. Although I'm a little concerned that his lack of teeth was the deal breaker for me in that whole scenario. Like, if I could do that whole situation again, I would be like, excuse me, ma'am, would you like to buy some panties? Like, oh, sure, let me just get my wallet, and holy shit. We almost had a deal, and till I could see into your soul. I was on the train the other day, and this random dude sidled up next to me, and he was like, "Oh, can I talk to you in Jesus' name?" And I was like, "Okay, this is like standard subway evangelist. I'll like humor him for a couple minutes. I'm like 3 stops away." So I turned to him, and I'm like, "Okay, sure, dude. What do you want to talk about?" And the next thing out of his mouth was, "Do you have a husband in Jesus' name?" I was like, "Is this how guys are doing it now?" Because this is not a fortune cookie. Like, you can't just add in Jesus' name at the end of whatever you're saying, and then it means something different. Because the next thing out of his mouth was, "Can I take you out to dinner in Jesus' name?" I was like, "I don't know. Was it on his tab?" That wine better be fucking free. I know that much. I went to school for journalism, so I'm a little bit of a local news junkie. I like to watch the news a lot. I was watching the news the other night, and there was this report about this dude that was wanted for an armed robbery in Northeast, and he had been arrested before, so they already had his mugshot. They flash it up on the screen. It's just a picture of a dude with a tattoo of a gun across his neck. And I was like, well, God damn it, there goes your alibi. I was like, you might as well just turn yourself the fuck in. Because you could either be the dude with a tattoo of a gun on his neck, or you could be the only black man in D.C. wearing turtlenecks in July. Like, I honestly don't know what gets you arrested faster. I also watch the news to figure out what states I don't want to live in. Right now, Texas is number 1. Is anybody out here from Texas, actually? One person. Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm going to do this joke anyway. Not since Florida has there been a state that like needs to go in the corner and like think about the things that it's done to its people. And I feel like it should have things taken away from them too, like kids in real timeout. It's like, oh, you don't want to give affordable reproductive health care to low-income minority women? All right, no Beyonce then. No Beyonce. Next time she goes on tour, her private jet's going to fly over your state like a war-torn country. I like to stay up late. Does anybody else out here like to stay up late? Like ungodly hours, 1 a.m., 2 a.m.? The reason I like to stay up late, though, is because I'm convinced really cool, awesome shit is going to happen without me if I go to bed too early, which is really irrational, but I'm kind of just waiting for like that one day where I stay up to like 2:30 in the morning for like the 8th day in a row. And I get a call from my next door neighbor like, "Hey, what's up? Bitch, get out here." All right, there is a meth head shooting Choco Tacos out of a t-shirt gun. No, look, no, I don't know how long it's gonna last. You got 5 minutes to get a helmet and a catcher's mitt. This shit is going quick. It's a fantasy of mine that will never happen. Because I like to stay up late, I like to watch a lot of TV, but I'm not a big reality TV fan. I found like my mom really likes reality TV. She likes The Voice. Like The Voice is her favorite show. I don't have anything against The Voice. It's just she calls me to ask me to vote for people who I have never heard sing before. And when she first started asking me to do this, there was no context for the calls. So every week she just sounded like she was going to witness a mafia murder. Like every week the phone would ring and be like, "Hey mom, what's up? All right, here's what you gotta do. All right, you gotta call 1-888-757-8364. You got 5 minutes or Carl goes home tonight." Who the fuck is Carl? Like, who is Carl? Like, before I knew it was The Voice, I just thought home was just like a watery grave at the bottom of the Potomac River. I did say I'm not a big reality TV show fan, but I do have one guilty pleasure, and that is a show called Say Yes to the Dress. Any of you guys familiar with this show? For those of you who are not familiar with the show, it is a reality TV show on TLC about the process of picking out a wedding dress. And there are 2 versions. There's the one that's filmed in New York City, and there's the one that's filmed in Atlanta. Now, if you're anybody like me, you watch the New York City version to drool over a lifestyle that you will never acquire. And then you watch the Atlanta version right after that to feel better about yourself as a person. Now, I don't know about you guys, but nothing gives me more joy personally than to see a 16-year-old child bride just bring out every person she's ever known to pick out one dress. Then when the personal shopper asks, so who'd you bring with you today? They go, all right, today I brought with me my Mima, my Nana, my future mother-in-law, my 2 cousins, my ex-husband, a Clydesdale, a snapping turtle, the Putty Patrol from the Power Rangers. We're going to pick out my dream dress. Next question they always ask is like, what's your budget? Oh, $5,000? I'm like, really? Because you just used the word Mima 30 seconds ago. I'm going to go ahead and call bullshit on you having 5 Gs. Because I watch a lot of late night TV, I see a lot of dumb commercials as a result. One of the commercials that I saw lately started out with this mom in the kitchen serving dinner to her family. And she turns to the camera and she goes, when it came to dinner time, I used to do anything to please my family. Now I just serve them Tyson crispy chicken strips, which I get what they were trying to do. They were trying to make Tyson seem like the superior product. But if you take the words Tyson and crispy out of that, it's the difference between brand loyalty and then just giving the fuck up on your family. Like, can you imagine how the rest of that ad would go if he just took those 2 words out? When it came to dinner time, I used to do anything to please my family. Now I just serve them chicken strips. Because when my kids bring home C-average grades, they're gonna get a C-average dinner. I'll leave you guys on this. Like I said earlier, I write for a living, which means I use Microsoft Word a lot. You guys ever been using Microsoft Word and like that red squiggly line comes up underneath stuff that's like incorrect? Why don't we have that for people yet? Why is that not a thing? like why can't I be like on a date that's like going south and then all of a sudden the dude is just like bathed in like this red light? And then when I press on it, like a dialogue box comes up. It's like, this man thinks the transition between Beauf and Viv's on The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air was seamless. Ignore all. It's like, fuck no, I'm not ignoring that. That's egregious. All right, that's my time. Thank you guys so much.